Good evening, and welcome to this special Good Friday service. Tonight, we'll have our spiritual leadership team present to you Jesus Christ's last 7 words, mixed in with some quiet and meaningful music. Sit back and enjoy as we begin with our first song, I Am Opening.
I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening.
We have a few important announcements tonight. Tomorrow from 9 to 11 a.m., we'll be holding our first coffee chat of the year in the Peace Garden. At the same time, we'll be decorating our flower cross and hiding the eggs for the Easter egg hunt. You'll be able to pick up your carnation and affirmation at around 10 a.m., while the Easter egg hunt will be available all weekend. We're also looking for volunteers to help us clean the sanctuary and bathrooms for Easter Sunday. The more the merrier, and likely the cleaner. So join us for the coffee chat where we'll get organized and then we'll go over to the sanctuary to get it ready. Easter Sunday, we will be open for in-person services in the sanctuary. However, with limited seating and restrictions. Please go to our website and carefully read about those restrictions in our news blog. We also need volunteers to help us with temperature checks and check-ins and greeting and ushering and collecting donations, etc. So if you're able and willing to serve on Easter Sunday, please come at 10 a.m. for rehearsals and getting organized. Finally, after our Easter service, we'll be moving over to the Peace Garden for potluck. You're welcome to bring something to share or simply join us with your private lunch. Throughout any of the in-person events, whether they're indoors or outdoors, we will be observing correct mask wearing and social distancing in the interest of keeping everyone safe and allowing for as many to join as possible. So let us now move into prayer with Jean-Marie.
Let us now take a moment in prayer. As we come together in this online format, we're moving into this moment so clearly and so beautifully that all we can recognize is our divinity fully expressing who we truly are. Tonight, we commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And as we understand that to be part of our creative process, we are willing to move into the letting go and the forgiveness of those things that no longer serve us. Tonight may also be the letting go of purely online services and move into a hybrid environment where some of us may be meeting indoors and others may be remaining home until we all are ready and safe to come together in person once again. We're celebrating our ability to simply let go of those things that are standing in the way, to prepare ourselves to move into new and better ways to be. We're allowing this process to unfold, to get ready for Easter Sunday and the resurrection of the new way we are being. In gratitude, we say thank you. Thank you to all the hours that have been spent to make tonight possible. Thank you for everyone who is going to participate and contribute to serve our community so that we can open once again in person and indoors for Easter Sunday. And so it is. Amen.
When I wonder, God, are you there? Can you take this pain away? Why no answer to my prayer? When I'm feeling so alone, I don't know what to do. I know these are the questions that Jesus also knew. That night in the garden when he knelt down to pray, I know he felt some of the same fears that I'm feeling here today. Then I remember how he taught us what was true. Surrender to God's will is what we have to do. God is with me in my garden of Gethsemane. Although I'm filled with fear, God's love is there to comfort me. And when I lift my cup and say, not mine, but thy will be done, my fears release, and my freedom is won. Be my strength in my time of need. When I want to grow my soul, be the one that plants the seed. And do not touch my cross is heavy, and my burden's much to bear. Kindly tap me on my shoulder and remind me you are there. God is with me in my garden of Gethsemane. And when I'm filled with fear, God's love is there to comfort me. And when I lift my cup and say, not mine, but thy will be done, my fear releases, and my freedom is won. And when I lift my cup and say, not mine, but thy will be done, my fear release, and my freedom is won.
The crucifixion of Jesus Christ represents a significant part of the creative process in which we are all involved. The entire Easter season is part of that same process. With crucifixion, we represent the letting go of what no longer serves us to get ready for what is to come, hopefully something that is meaningful and uplifting in our lives and that of others. The resurrection then is the bringing about what is new after having rested in a place of unchange, to give us a moment to get ready. What is stretched out over 3 days in our traditions is essentially happening in every moment of our lives. And we are responsible for directing this creative process in ways that are supportive, kind, and meaningful. Tonight, we commemorate Jesus' last 7 words, which are more than just 7 words, but phrases with great significance. As we contemplate each word, we are inspired by music from our wonderful music team. Enjoy.
Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Luke chapter 23, verse 34. When Jesus Christ says these words, he has been hung on the cross in between 2 criminals because the priests, leaders, and the people demanded his crucifixion. Co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, says in The Revealing Word that crucifixion is the crossing out of errors in our consciousness that have become fixed states of mind. This crossing out is the forgiveness aspect in Jesus Christ's words. In Unity, we learn that we are the activity of God principle. There is no supreme being outside of us doing the forgiving. Jesus Christ's words would then make sense as, in principle, I forgive them. And what is the act of forgiving? Again, the Revealing Word says that forgiveness is a process of giving up the false for the true. So, in principle, I am releasing the false and embracing what is true because they do not know what they are doing. And what are they doing? Judging the Christ, denying the Christ, and attempting to extinguish the Christ light. What happens when we deny our divinity, when we attempt to suppress it? Are we playing the victim? Is there a they outside of us that we're pointing to? When we see this happening, we are reminded to cross out, to let go the victimizing of our true self. We need to remember the truth and consciously step into the activity of God that we are. Let us affirm together in remembrance of Jesus's words. I forgive and let go to embrace what is mine to do.
At the cry of the first bird, they began to crucify thee, O Son. Never shall the man cease because of that. It was like the parting of day from night. So was the suffering borne by the body of Mary's Son. But sorrow still to him was the grief which for his sake came upon his mother.
Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. And that is from Luke 23, verse 43. So let us remember the events about which these words were spoken. Jesus is on the cross with the two thieves on either side of him. One is mocking him, saying, you who have the power, you need to save us. Jesus does not respond. But the other thief asks in all humility, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And then Jesus says to the second thief, truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. So my question is, when we come from a place of victimhood, like that first thief who is spirit silent to us? Or are we in such a place that we do not hear spirit because of our own consciousness? But when we are coming from a place of humility and openness, like the second thief, spirit comes forward with an answer. We always have the choice. We can choose to perceive a world from a place of anger, victimhood, and resent others, or we can choose to see our past errors and awaken, be humble in our vulnerability, and open to Spirit's guidance. In The Revealing Word by Charles Fillmore, paradise is metaphysically interpreted as a state of high spiritual consciousness. So Jesus says that today you will be with me in this state of high spiritual consciousness. Today, in this moment. So as we let go of the past, we can move into a new day, enlivening it to all possibilities. So let us affirm together, I choose my life as I accept my paradise.
I am with you now, as I have always been, and I will always be with you. I am with you now, as I have always been, and I will always be with you. I am with you now, as I have always been, and I will always be with you. I am with you now, as I have always been, and I will always be with you.
And he said to his mother, Woman, here is your son. And then he said to his disciple, Here is your mother. John 19, 26 through 27. In this passage, Jesus speaks directly to his mother and to the disciple standing right next to her, generally considered to be John, who represents love. We can understand from a human point of view that Jesus wanted to be sure that his mother would be comforted and cared for after he was no longer physically present. And who better to do that than John, who always led with his heart? And in fact, the next line in the scripture says, and from that hour, the disciple took her into his own home. By uniting the loving energy of his mother and that of his cherished disciple, Jesus ensures a wonderful vitality of love that will grow and flourish. This union is also important for another reason. Since Jesus' mother was present at the wedding at Cana, she is a witness to the beginning and the end of his incarnate ministry. And John was just at the farewell meal with all the disciples when Jesus commanded them to do works of love. So together, these two represent the continuity of Jesus' ministry from the incarnation to the future life of the community. We too can unite and radiate the harmonizing power of divine love for ourselves, for others, and for the world. Now let us affirm together to remember the word that Jesus spoke. I am a perfect expression of love, ready to share with others.
My God, why have you forsaken me? Matthew chapter 27, verse 46, and Mark chapter 15, verse 34. At this point, Jesus uses a loud voice to call out the words that are actually the first lines from Psalm 22. a plea for deliverance from suffering and hostility. Although Jesus Christ doesn't go on to speak the rest, this psalm has 31 verses and seems to prophesy the crucifixion. It also turns from lamenting towards words that are uplifting and affirming, saying to praise the Lord and that I shall live for him. When we suffer, it's easy to focus our attention on our condition or situation. We may experience discomfort, if not outright agony, from physical pain and also emotional or mental pain. We may start to question. At the same time, we have the power to affirm the truth and turn our thoughts back to our Christ nature. In George Lamps's translation of Matthew's Gospel from Aramaic, he suggests that the same sounds Jesus Christ uttered could also mean, my God, for this I was born." In other words, this is my purpose, not to suffer, but to live. That in the worst circumstances, remember to praise, to forgive, to use our God power for good. It is always our choice. Let us now affirm together in remembrance of Jesus Christ's words. I am born and reborn to fully express my life in this world.
Oh my God, how I love thee, how I love thee, how I love thee. Oh my God, how I love thee, how I love thee, my God. God, how I love thee, how I love thee, how I love thee. God, how I love thee, how I love thee, my God.
In John 19, verse 28, Jesus calls out, I am thirsty. Jesus has a need, and we are reminded of the fact that no matter what else, Jesus was human. He asked for a need to be met, and with that, it is met. So one of his own executioners lifted up a sponge that had been soaked with vinegar and hyssop, and it was a soothing thirst quencher. What does this tell us? When we are in need, when we are at our lowest point, if we will ask in full faith, our request is met. This was a statement, I am thirsty. And this statement from Jesus gave an opportunity for someone to do something, an act of kindness in the midst of a mob. Someone reached deep into their heart to meet a need and to see a fellow human being in need, to give, to serve, to love. In all of our humanity, no matter how much it falls short, no matter how much we mess up and fall down, we always have the opportunity to give to another. Even with our human foibles, we can love, reach out, and give enriching life to others. So during this last year, in this pandemic, there have been so many opportunities to step up
to be a life giver to others. As we serve, as we give, we also see that at any time we have a need, that we thirst, it is actually a thirst for our own divine potential that is within and always available. In Matthew 5, verse 6, Jesus said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." So let us truly be thirsty today for our own potential and to realize our divinity. Let us affirm together, I thirst for my own potential to realize my divinity.
It is finished. John 19:30. With these words, Jesus is nearing the end of his physical existence. He realizes he has done all he can. He has completed the work he undertook, dedicating his life to teaching about the divinity of humankind. In an earlier passage in John, Jesus talks about freely choosing to lay down his life. So though his physical life is ending, it is a necessary step in the triumphant declaration of his divinity. Jesus has completed his work in consciousness. According to a Unity Creative Process publication, when we can truly express love toward all, without regard to what the physical world seems to tell us, we are completing our work in consciousness. In other words, we are seeing beyond outer appearances to inner truth. How many times might we persist in using only our human resources and ignoring our divinity? We believe that we must do it all on our own through human might, instead of aligning ourselves with the unlimited substance of divine mind. Charles Fillmore said, "Humankind has access to divine ideas, and through prayer and meditation, one quickens and appropriates the substance of these ideas." When we choose to use our spiritual practices, we align our talents and gifts with unlimited potentialities and possibilities. With Jesus as our example, we can accept our humanity, but claim our divinity, our own innate God potential. In this way, we are complete. Let us now affirm together to remember the word that Jesus spoke. I am complete.
Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Luke chapter 23, verse 46. In these final words of Jesus, we are experiencing the conclusion of his life's purpose, a life as a human expression of his divinity. This final step of the creative process is the complete surrender to God. We've done the work, we've put our intentions in place, and we've disciplined ourselves with love and care. And now it is time for us to let go, a final homecoming, a being of peace. Looking at the crucifixion of Jesus Christ through the lens of his last 7 words, we begin to understand how it all applies to us right here and right now. We're learning to embrace the value of forgiveness, appreciating and accepting where we are at. The loving kindness expressed from and to us, embracing even the darkness that we may still experience, we embrace our humanity as we thirst for spirit, and we complete the work that ought to be done, and then we surrender. All in a brief moment of time, all with the intention to grow and expand. Allow the crucifixion process, the letting go of what no longer serves us, to complete, so that then we can rest and resurrect ourselves anew. Will you speak with me the final affirmation for tonight's service, to remember who we truly are? I surrender myself to the goodness of all.
Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at death, so that I may glorify God. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I may glorify God. Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at death, so that I may glorify God. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I may glorify God.
It's been a joy having you with us tonight. What a wonderful way to move into this Easter weekend. As always, we appreciate your generosity as you open your hearts and give to support our mission to celebrate the diversity and oneness in all of us. You can give online via our website, or text your donation via your phone, or send us a check, or arrange for a cash donation. Your support is appreciated. We hope that you can join us for our coffee chat, volunteer opportunities, Easter Sunday, and potluck. We know that we all deserve it. Have a wonderful evening and a happy Easter.